Thursday marks Lacrosse night in Chicago. Number 3 Northwestern welcoming Michigan to the Lake Show. Forecast calls for a perfect evening, complete with fan interaction, appearances from NU alums like Izzy Skane and Aaron Kuykendall, and of course a terrific matchup between two of the Big Ten's best. Speaking of the best, we are thrilled to have Northwestern in our studio for a special appearance. Head coach Kelly Amonte Hiller, senior midi Sam Smith with us. Kelly, let's start with Thursday night. A lot of excitement goes into this build-up. Of course, Michigan also coached by one of your former players, and Hannah Nielsen. What's the best part about what we'll see on Thursday night on the lake?
Yeah, absolutely. I think that, we've just been really excited about the growth of women's sports across the board. And I think Big Ten has really been a true leader in that, seeing what Iowa did with Caitlin Clark and, playing the game and blowing it out on the football field, and then Nebraska volleyball. We kind of talked about that this year, and just with the success that we've had and the notoriety that we've had, we wanted to do something big. So with what we saw this fall on the lake with football, it was just an electric environment, and people coming out, having a great time, being on the lakefront, and it's just really a special place. And so we're trying to create something great. We have an incredible rivalry with Michigan, obviously welcoming home Hall of Famer, Hannah Nielsen, one of our greatest ever. So it's just a really great setup, and it's a great opportunity for people to come out and see a sport that is just really fast-paced, really exciting, high scoring, and once you see it, you really fall in love with it.
And there'll be some great fan interaction on Thursday night. And Sam, I'm sure for you as players, you get to look on the sideline, especially when you guys go outside, and you have so many young fans, young girls who idolize and look up to you. When you see them watching you as you play, what are you thinking about?
Yeah, I mean, everyone on our team was once one of those girls. And I think, especially for me, coming from a more of a non-traditional lacrosse area, being from California, I really looked up to a lot of those college girls who were from areas like mine, and I just think whenever I go out there, I'm playing to inspire the younger generation just like I was. So,
mentioning that you're from California, I'm curious, from the West Coast, from a perspective outside of the Midwest, when you're playing high school, when you're playing that high-level club lacrosse, what's the thought process and the perspective of Northwestern as a program in the West Coast and other non-Midwest areas?
Yeah, I always looked up to Northwestern and Kelly for being courageous to recruit girls that weren't from traditional areas. I mean, some of our best players, Izzy, obviously from Michigan, not a traditional lacrosse area. Then you have other schools who are powerhouses who are only recruiting from Long Island, Maryland. So I always thought Northwestern was a place that I really wanted to go, and I wanted to prove that girls from non-traditional areas could play at this high level.
And one of those ways to recruit those players, right, Kelly, is to be consistently in the national spotlight. And already this year, you've played teams that were ranked at the time you played them number 1, number 2, number 4, number 6, and number 11. You're number 3, so there's not a lot of low numbers left there. From a coach's perspective, I know it's exciting to play those games. Doesn't it get a little bit stressful when they go back to back to back like that?
We have had a difficult run over the last couple of weeks, but, I'm just a big believer. If you want to be the best, you have to play the best. And I would much rather, have setbacks during the season and have that learning and have that growth, during that regular season where we can evaluate ourselves, we have time, and it doesn't end our season. So that's just been my philosophy all along, and I think our players really thrive on it. They want the challenge. That's why they came to a place like Northwestern. They want the challenge in the classroom. They want the challenge on the field, and we love to compete. So it's really exciting for us.
Well, won't let Coach put words in your mouth, but I'm sure you agree, right, from the player's perspective, to play a BC, a UNC, a Maryland, a Syracuse, all in the same season. What's that like from a player's perspective?
I love it. I think that I have the most fun in the games that are the hardest. Playing those top teams, one, we get a chance to prove ourselves and really cement ourselves as one of the top teams in the nation. And two, it's just a great battle. And I'm a super competitive person, as are a lot of the girls on our team. So we really thrive in those environments.
Kelly, it's hard to believe. If we count the club season back in '01, this is the 25th year for you as the head coach at Northwestern. How hard is that to believe for you, and how proud are you of what you, the entire staff, and the program have built?
Yeah, it is really hard to believe. I'm of the mindset of, stay in the present moment, really focus on what you're doing and really enjoy that. But when I take a second to reflect and just think about all the experiences, all the people that I've been exposed to, I'm just really super grateful. I'm grateful to be part of this athletic department and the university in its own right. It's just a really special place. I've had a lot of chances to leave Northwestern, and I just love this place. I love what it represents, and I love working with players like Sam. I mean, it's just a really, really special thing, and it inspires you every day.
Certainly inspirational to be on that field when you get to be outside and the lake is there and the backdrop is unbelievable. I'm curious, what do you hear from other coaches and teams that get to play outside at Northwestern for the first time?
We probably don't hear that much, but we see a lot of taking pictures when they get to our field initially, and things like that, going into the lake maybe after they walk through or practice. There's no place like it. I think we have the best facilities in the country, and we every day we walk out there, we are grateful.
Sam, obviously, because of the weather in Evanston, you're not able to play there all the time, to play sometimes inside Ryan Fieldhouse. I'm curious, for those who are kind of uninitiated, who's never played indoor versus outdoor lacrosse, how much of a difference does it actually make in the style of game that you play based on whether you're inside or outside?
I would say not that much, honestly. We try and not focus on things we can't control, the weather definitely being one of those things. So I guess if it's colder or raining, you have to focus on whether the pocket of your stick is going to stretch out or tighten up. But honestly, we just continue to play our game, stay true to ourselves, and focus on the things we can control.
All right, this is going to be a kind of off the beaten path question, but some folks who aren't that familiar with women's lacrosse, who I've gotten to watch games, always ask me the same question. Why are they checking the stick after every single goal, even if it's the same player that's scoring back-to-back? So is there an easy answer to that question?
Probably not. I think that they want to make sure the legality of the stick is there every time they score. You can adjust your stick to make the pocket bigger pretty easily. And like Sam said, in weather situations, sometimes the pocket will grow as the game goes on. So they want to make sure that there's a fair playing, marker, and that everyone has a legal stick. So that's why they check it every time. It might be a little bit of overkill, in my opinion, but we'll go with it.
Yeah, but it leads to those great celebrations that are actually, the first time somebody watched the women's lacrosse game, they're like, wow, they're really fired up. Why are they throwing the stick on the ground? No, it's because they absolutely have to. So there's the answer for all the uninitiated. All right, before we finish up, let's get back to Thursday night. And Hannah has done a great job at Michigan. I want to get both your perspectives on this team that I know you've been scouting, that you're very familiar with, playing in the same conference. What makes them dangerous? How do you get the job done Thursday night?
Yeah, Hannah's a phenomenal coach. She knows the game. She's a she was a smart player, and now she's a smart coach. So I think, we just have to honestly focus in on ourselves. We've been focusing in on improvement, getting better every day, having a great week of practice and a great week of preparation. And I think, gaining possession is an important thing. Sam does an amazing job with that on the draw control, and that's going to be a key component. And just playing together. I think those are truly some great keys for us.
What about for you individually and from a team perspective?
Yeah, I mean, Michigan is always a great competitor. They're great on the draw. I think it's for that aspect of my game, I think it's going to take a lot of focus, and I'm excited to get the prep work in these next 2 days to really lock in on that. They're just such a gritty team, but as I said before, we love playing these tougher teams, so we're super excited about that.
Sam Smith, Kelly Amonte Hill, I truly appreciate you guys making the trip to our studio here in Chicago. Safe travels on the short ride back to Evanston. Look forward to seeing you guys on Thursday night.
Thanks for having us. Go Cats.
Thank you.